Everybody, welcome back to Kreationz DIY, and today I'm going to be putting in a kitchen sink into our new Airbnb rental property. It doesn't have a kitchen, but we're making a kitchen. So I put a little mock-up thing I had here from my shop and my old sink from one of my properties, just so we can kind of see where it's going to be at. And then what I'm going to do is on the other side of this wall here is the bathroom. So I'm going to split the pipe so that I can get a Y, so I can get water into here and drain back. So I'm going to show you right now where I'm going to get the water and drain from. And then after we hook that up, we're going to cut holes through this wall right here. And then we're going to go ahead and put a real sink cabinet in and a sink. And I'm going to show you how to connect all that up as well. So you could basically put a sink anywhere and run your own lines. Now, this is the bathroom. So you see this front room here, we're going to be making this a kitchen. So I picked this corner here because it's so close to the bathroom where the water is. If I would have did somewhere else in the kitchen, there's no water and then there's only a bedroom. So you have bedroom. This was a bedroom in the front as well. And this was an old busted bathroom that everything was stolen out of, that we're rebuilding in this property after we bought the property. So what we're gonna do is the best thing is to put the sink all the way against the wall, facing this way, so that the sink water and drain will come through this wall here, behind the toilet where it's going to be there, and then we're going to go into this. So I'm going to show you what I did. So plumbing's getting real easy with this SharkBite stuff now. You don't have to really like sweat the pipe in like here where it's metal to metal and you see the solder drip right there, the silver. Now all you do is push these little pieces on and then get a little piece of plastic, push this plastic in and pull the pipe out, and then you could change whatever you want. It's great. We even did a video on how to put a diverter in, and we use SharkBites as well to put that diverter back in, and it's been working great. Even the top pipe up has got a SharkBite down. Works great. We got 12,000 hits on this video. So let's see how many hits we can get on this putting a sink in. Now this is the old setup here. The old setup just had the pipe come out, the hot pipe, into this, which you can turn on and off. And then this will link up into your faucet. Now that's a one pipe coming in and one pipe going to the faucet and a drain coming out, and then you have your cold. But what I did here was I took this valve off and I added a three-way splitter here. Now what this does is we're gonna be able to get water out this way and this way. So I'm gonna cut this pipe back a little bit and put this here. So it'll basically look like this now. It will stick out a little farther, but you see we're right next to the drain, so it's gonna be hidden in the sink cabinet. And I'm gonna have the water here still for the sink, for the sink in the bathroom. And this is gonna run a line along the wall behind the toilet. We're gonna cut a hole here, and it's going to run cold water in to the sink area on the other side. And we're going to do the same thing here. Now what's really good is I put these on with SharkBite. So, and they have a little cap. So you're just gonna take this cap off here. If I could pop it off. And then we get the little piece. So this is a SharkBite puller offer tool. I don't know the official name, but if you know it, comment it down below. SharkBite remover. So you put that, pop it on, then you're gonna butt it up. And then there's two pieces of plastic here. You can see a smaller piece and then a larger ring. You're gonna push this ring in. It's hard to do with one hand. I need to get my 4K glasses working. You're gonna push it in and then you're gonna pull this piece off. Now, if this was sweated in, I would lose it. I'd have to cut it back here on the pipe and then try to save this little pipe and then put SharkBite in and try to save it. But it's SharkBite, I can just pull it off. I'm gonna put this piece here, cut this pipe in half, pull it out, and then put these both on. Then I'm gonna have two open holes, and we're gonna run that pipe back. So let me get some work done, and I'll show you what's going on. So there are a lot of pipe cutters, but I would advise you to spend 25 or 30 bucks and get a nice one like this.
They have wee little tiny ones that look like squares. They're super cheap, but I only use those on like brake lines for the cars and stuff. But a nice big one like this will cut really easy, and you can actually grab it and spin it. And I'm gonna show you how to do it right now. So we're just gonna put it on here. And you're gonna put it to where it's tight, where it's not gonna fall, but you don't wanna crank it on. Because if you crank it on, the blade is gonna cut into this soft metal, this copper, and then you won't be able to spin it. You just wanna get it on tight enough to where it's not gonna fall. And then, let me see, I think we want it a little more. So we're just gonna leave it to where it is, and then we're just gonna go around in a circle. So you have to hold it, because it's on the shark bite, and the shark bite moves, which is another good thing, because then you can get angle. So we just hold it, and it makes a little line. And then I give it a little, barely nothing of a twist, and I do it again. And barely nothing of a twist, and I do it again. And about 5 or 6 times, it'll just cut off on its own. And then it starts to get real loose. When it gets real loose, I know to tighten it. And there it is. It makes a nice fresh cut. I mean, it looks like the other side, you know? You don't have to get a saw or anything, and it just never bends the pipe. Just go real easy, and I will use that for that one, and we'll use this for this one. So we're just gonna So use this to get it off, but as you can see, I got a little blood on my finger where I had a blister, so my fingers have been hurting, so it was a little harder for me today. And we're just gonna put a shark bite in. So we're just gonna grab a T like this, and then we're just gonna line it up. And we're gonna push it in. And you'll feel it slide in. And it won't go anymore. And then you pull it and it locks. It's got teeth on it. Let me grab another one so I can show you. So the pipe goes in between this little thing in the middle and this round pipe, and then there's some teeth in there, and it grabs the pipe. Then when you push this, it covers up the teeth, and then you could slide it out. So the teeth dig into the pipe a little bit. So that's how the shark bite works. So now once it's on there, now we have hot that can go this way, cold that can go this way as well. And then we're just gonna take our piece of pipe that we cut. We're gonna put that in the shark bite on this side now. Make sure we get a good feeling on it. So sometimes it feels like it's on, but if it didn't move back a half an inch, it's not correct. So just make sure it's on there, in there. Now we're gonna put our piece valve back on. And that's it. So you're all connected. All we did was we moved this from here out and put this in between. So now, I mean, you can't turn the water on, you know? So you're not gonna be able to use this sink until you connect these or put caps on them, but we're not using this anyway. So now you can go right back in and putting the faucet in just like you had before. And we'll put this other side on as well so you can see. So we're just gonna take the same thing, shark bite valve, and put it on this side, on the cold. It went right in, and that's it. And then we would just hook this back up. And now we have this, and we have the 2 connections to run the sink through. So I'm gonna go ahead and measure how long the pipe needs to be, cut some holes in the wall over here, and then we're gonna lay the pipe in, and then I'll show you on the other side how we're gonna connect it. We're gonna do the same thing and put these faucet connectors into the faucet of the sink on that side as well. And then now we have water into our new sink that we're building in our new kitchen. All right, so we're getting back on this sink here. I painted the back of the wall because we've been doing a lot of work in building this apartment. And I want to be able to move this, put the countertop on this piece of furniture, clean this sink up and put it in and install it and put the pipes through the wall. But I can't put it back, install it, and then bring it back out. And I know some people are going to say you didn't have to paint this back of the wall, but for me, the whole building being painted on the inside afresh just makes me feel better. It smells better. I know that there's no mildew, there's nothing, there's no damage. We even took the molding off so we can put a new piece of molding in. Everything is going to be fresh, brand new, just like you would want your own apartment. So we're going to follow Wolfie over here. And in the back here, we're started to go ahead and cut some of our wood. Now we're going to start processing the frame. We're going to put this piece of wood here and make like a little shelf. We're going to pull this out a little bit so that we can run our pipes along the wall, back behind the toilet, through the wall here and into our sink, cold, hot, and drain out. Now I could leave it here and just cut holes into this, but I noticed that underneath when I did all the plumbing, so let's look at the plumbing underneath. When I did all the plumbing, I still need, right here where it's connected into the drain, I still need to put a T-handle here. So see how there's T's here that are plugged right now? They're ready to go to the side. So this is the hot and the, or this is, let me see. This is the hot and this is the cold. They're ready to go. Well, there's no T-handle here, so we have to pull this rubber piece off, put a big piece of plastic here like this with a T-handle and send that to the side. But there's no room to put the T-handle. So if I move it toward us about 3 inches, 3.5 inches, that'll give me just enough to put a 1.5 inch drain here and put the T-handle in and move everything back, and only this plastic stuff will move with the sink, so all of it will still be connected, and we'll have the sink connector here and an open piece going this way. It's gonna work out perfectly. If I didn't move the sink forward and put that little frame behind, well then I don't know where you would put the T-handle. You'd have a whole bunch of mess, and this might be over here, like the trap might be on the wrong side or whatever. So let's just go with my process, and I'm going to show you exactly how it works, and it's gonna look wonderful.
All right, so I got a few 2x4s and I measured the length or the height of the sink with this one. Then this is going to be the top plate. So now we are going to drill 2 or 3 holes here. And then what we're going to do is the tall leg is going to go on this side, and this is going to go behind the sink. And then on this side, we're going to have one leg that comes down a little bit, and then maybe another piece that goes back up to the frame or straight across to give this stability. And then a piece that goes down, and then on this side it's going to be open. So it's going to basically look like this, like a piece, and then where it's... So this is the trap that was underneath. Single trap went into the pipe, went into a piece of rubber here at the end. But instead, do you see what I'm going to do now? I'm going to take this piece off and connect this to this piece. And then it has an opening here. I want to bring you in and kind of show you where we're at. So this plastic piece was in this piece of rubber, this coupling here, because there's metal. So it went from there to there, and then went from here to here, and it was just a single drain. But now I'm going to add this piece with this opening. So if I push this in and we push it back, now I'll have an opening to go to the kitchen and take this little piece off and connect it here to connect back up into the sink. So let's dump this piece right here. And you can kind of see what we're working with. So I have to get a different angle because this is screw end to screw end. So we'll need to get a different angle. But you see kind of where we're going, right?
kind of where we're going. This is gonna go back up underneath. This is gonna connect here. And then now we have the open drain with the open pipes. And I pulled the wall away a little bit so you can see that this is where the frame is gonna be. So the frame is gonna pull against the wall. We're gonna cut this a little bit shorter down to here, and it's gonna be open from like here to here. The pipes are gonna go through, and then the rest of the frame is gonna be built. And then there's gonna be a piece of wood here like a shelf, and then another leg that goes down on the other side. And then this will be a piece of wood solid here so you won't see it. And then you have to look all the way down behind to see the pipes that go through. And then this is a piece of the drain. So basically the drain is gonna lay like this. It's gonna go down in, connect into where that white is. This piece will connect into that, and then they go through the wall to the other side. So I'm gonna go ahead and get some work done, and then we'll come back and do another update. So at this point, I put it all back together. I changed out this piece from another one of these that didn't fit exactly. And then I measured it. So this much has to come off, and then this much will go into the rubber piece, and then this piece will go out to the kitchen sink, the drain straight in, and then this piece will go back into the sink. So I'm just taking a Sawzall blade with a hand saw here. You could cut it with the Sawzall. It takes me like 1 whole minute to cut this easy with the hand blade, and doesn't use any battery, and makes a good cut. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish cutting this. Then I'm gonna put this back in, screw it in, and mock it up. And then we're gonna start working on this frame here. So now we're gonna cut the hole in the wall for the drain. So the drain is a 2-inch pipe. So we did a 2 1/8 inch hole. Now I measured on the other side was 18 up and 2 across. That's where the pipe is for the drain on the other side. So I'm just gonna go 1 inch higher. So 18 was in the middle, so I'm gonna make 18 the bottom of the circle here. And then it'll just have the slightest little bit of taper to push water that way. So it's not sitting in the pipe the whole way for like the 4 feet. So I'm gonna go ahead and drill this through here. And then I'm gonna drill through the other side, and we're gonna lay our pipe in. Okay, so now I cut a little hole through the wall, and then the shank was long enough to keep going and cut the hole through the other side of the wall. And I stuck the pipe through right here, and I just put a little corner piece on so it wouldn't fall when I push it through the other side. And let's look on the other side and see what we're doing now. So through the wall comes the pipe right there. And then behind the toilet will go the pipe. And then you see right here where I have this little piece? So this piece is gonna come off and do conversion from plumbing to PVC. They make a conversion kit, and I'm gonna put that in, connect this right here, and you see it's tapered downwards. It's higher on this side than it is this side by about 1 inch, 1.5 inches downward taper to always bring the water out of this pipe and drain through the drain. Now we're gonna go ahead and take these caps off and extend this pipe out as well, the cold and the hot. And we're gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna drill 2 holes back there through the drywall, just like I did with the pipe here. And we're gonna send them through, and then we're going to install our sink on the other side. So now I've got a small shank on, and I'm just gonna put the water pipes above where I put the drain. So there is a little piece of wood in there. So I meant to put the hole here, but as you can see, it hit a stud. They double studded for some reason when they put this wall in. So to get it as close as I could, I had to move it over a little bit. So we're gonna go right here and right here. So the flex pipe will come on the outside. I have a piece of flex pipe for the cold. And then I have this last piece of copper, and we want to use up everything that we have for our projects so that we don't have to keep spending and wasting money. So I'm going to go ahead and drill those 2 holes. I'm going to put these 2 long pieces through, And then I'm gonna show you how to connect those up into the T shark bites that we did to get the water out. And then I'm gonna show you how to hook this up to your faucet and sink. So we'll pop a hole and then we'll go and do one on the other side. And it just comes out like a hole. So you got to tear the hole out, and then we have to put a new one next to it here, and then we're going to have cold and hot water. All right, so now I have the 2 lines that I had through, and they're capped off on the end with the drain, and it goes behind the toilet here and then in. The water is on right now. Everything is done. The cold I used for the blue one that I had, and the copper I put in for the hot. Everything's connected except for this piece. I have to take this elbow out and get one that glues into this piece. So I have to stop the store. That's the last piece, and then we're done back here. I put the piece of wood and I built all the way down. And then you see the piece of wood, the white piece of wood that's down there. So it kind of looks like it forms. So see the white piece of wood? So we block that off. And then right above, there's gonna be another block. And then back here, there's gonna be a shelf. So that holds it from the wall. And that way we can get everything in. And everything's gonna lock right in. It's gonna be great. All right, so I'm under the sink and I needed to come up with something that I couldn't find at the store. So I'm glad that I keep these scrap pieces when I'm doing work. Like, I never throw this stuff out. This was just a little piece of tube that I cut off that had a 90-degree angle here. I only needed a small 90. And then I kept the tube, which is 1.5, because I figured down the road I'm doing so much plumbing that I might need this again, and I did. So I probably saved myself about $9 to $15 just buying another tube that I have to cut anyway to fit in this small section. So the piece that I bought for attachment from drainage to the drain sink here in the Y pipe is this piece, and then this piece will go in to the black drain back here. And then this piece came with it, so this piece, no gasket, screws in when you put the pipe in this way. Then after you put that together, I had an extra, this black piece with this gasket to put in off of another project. So it doesn't matter what color it is, it's going to be down there. I don't care if it's one piece is black, one piece is white, this is whatever, it matches. And it's the perfect size. And it might actually even be a little too long, so we might have to cut this a little bit, but let's show you underneath where it goes. So underneath here, this is gonna be your drainage pipe. So what's gonna happen is you're gonna put your adapter piece on your drainage pipe after you put the glue on it. So you have to get the PVC glue and then put this together. Then what we're gonna do is this white collar piece, screw in, you put a little piece of the pipe inside and then you screw this in and it has its own little gasket. Then this piece sticking out here that has the screw on the outside is gonna take this piece with the gasket. So we found this gasket and this piece and go in and link everything up perfect. And now we're gonna have drain for our new kitchen sink. All right, let me get some work done and we'll be right back with you. So right now we just cut out this makeshift, there's Meadow. We cut out this makeshift countertop. So this is 32 by 25. It's 3/4 of an inch longer on this side, an inch longer this way, so it has a little lip coming out the front. And then where the sink's gonna go, I cut that out as well. Then I have to still get a circle saw and cut these circles out. So this is gonna be like a makeshift countertop. because then I can sit the sink in here and have the sink working and be able to clean up and do things while we're still working on the apartment. So this is gonna work out great. So I cut it mostly out. Now I'm just gonna get the little handsaw and cut these close to each other here, so I can get that centerpiece out, and we're gonna paint this white and install it right in. All right, so we got our mock-up done. This is the mock-up for the counter. Sink fit in perfect. Everything looks great. Now we are going to have to make our mock-up holes for the faucet back here. So what I'm going to do is I just took a carpenter pencil and I made a little circle in all of these. And then I'm going to take a circle drill bit and take this off and go through each one, and then we can put our faucet on and then go underneath and connect our cables. Remember those cables we were just working on? So once we hook up the wire, and then we have the cable that's going to go on the end of the faucet. So we're getting very close to being done. Very close to being done, so stick with us. All right, so we got our piece of wood in here that we're using as a makeshift countertop right now, because I don't know if we're gonna put the refrigerator here or if we're gonna put another piece of like this furniture here and then have the sink and the counter go on. So as a mock-up, we have everything out. We painted it to match the wall and the furniture, and we cut the circle holes out so that we can get our plumbing that we put through the wall. Here, we're gonna put a shark bite as well, and then we're gonna go ahead and put those 3/8 to 1/2, those braided lines up into the faucet. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip the sink over right now, put that in. I'm gonna put the faucet in and just do those 2 little plastic screws, and then we'll come back and we'll put those braided lines in together. So now we've got the sink in, we've got the faucet on, and I'm about to put these little connections on the faucet under here. So if you crawl all the way underneath and look up, you see those 2 things coming out of our makeshift countertop right there. So we're gonna go ahead and put these connections on so it'll lock it in place, these little connections. And then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna cut this one pipe back to here, put our 2 valve connections on, and get these braided lines on. All right, we got the faucet, the counter, the sink on, everything's looking good, everything's mocked up. Now all we have to do is get these couple of drain pipe to come down to here. So I bought this one that actually moves and kind of slinkies, so it'll come down and go back this way, and you can make your own like J-pipe out of it. But there's a J-pipe at the end of this, so we don't have to worry about one being right here. But if you don't have one in your drain system, then you have to put that J-pipe here. All right, so we're at the point of the video where we're putting the drain in. So we're at the point of the video where we're gonna put the drain in for the sink. And I bought this long expansion piece here because I just didn't know at the time where the drain was coming out and how I was gonna be able to snake it around to manage. So you have to get an adapter piece here from the PVC that goes on the inside of this elbow to have this screwing side. And we're gonna put some glue on this and stick it in here. And then this will go right to this. And then you can bend your own little trap if you want. You can have like that little trap in there, you know, so for water or whatever. But we already have a trap in as well. Now you can use straight pipe here. You can buy a kit that just does the same thing without this little dishwasher piece, you know, like a straight kit. And then do your circle little trap down here and then make all your bends and all your stuff. But this was just so much more convenient. And I think I got this 22-inch expandable drain connection for 20 bucks on Amazon. You're not gonna find this at the parts store. If you go to the parts store, you're gonna pay like 40 bucks for this. I guarantee twice as much. So we're gonna go ahead and put some of this epoxy glue on. You just need a wee little bit of this and stick it on the inside here. Now I like to stick it on the inside and the outside of my piece and then hold it together. All right, so drain is connected. We went down and up. We glued our little corner piece on here, our 90-degree, and then you see the little bit of glue coming out. I didn't even wipe it off. I don't care because you'll never see it. It's out, and then our connection is in. And we had just enough to make like a little dip to go underneath to make like a little trap here. So now all we gotta do is put these connections on and put these lines in. All right, so we have our pipes coming out of the wall here, and I got the shark bites in the mail, the quarter valve turn. So these are 1/2 inch push on to 3/8 screw on compression fitting, but we took the compression fitting off here, this compression fitting, and we're just going to use a regular sink line, like a plumbing line, to go in. Now, my big thing is that I like to use this Teflon tape. So I put that on just to get a little bit more of a tighter squeeze, especially when you're using air or water. Do it one time, put it on, and that's about it. So now we have our valves and our lines together, and we're gonna go ahead and set those up. We're gonna drop our counter in that we're making right now. We're cutting a piece of wood so we can get a mock-up of our counter. We're gonna go ahead and paint that and drop it in. And then we're gonna put our compression lines on and put our drain in. All right, guys. So we're almost done. I just cut that one pipe right here back a little bit to match this one, so you could have a little bit more cabin space down here when we clean this all up. And then I attached our shark bite quarter knob here from 1/2 inch inlet pipe to 3/8 braided line. And then we're gonna take this piece and connect it straight up into our faucet there. And that's about it. The last thing we need to do is put some Teflon tape on that, both of those pieces on the faucet, and then make sure that you get the hot one goes to the hot side and the cold one goes to the cold side, so you don't have to take them back off and spill water everywhere. So I hope this helped you out, save some money, build your confidence. This is a DIY project. We're adding an extra kitchen into our rental property. So I just am so glad to be doing this and saving all this money. It makes me feel good that I can help other people. If you have any comments, please ask any questions down below. Also ask if we're doing any projects up front. So I have like 10 projects that we haven't launched yet, but they're in editing right now. So go ahead and leave me down below what you guys want to see. And if I get enough clicks, I'll just go ahead and launch those videos first. So final part, everything works, everything drains. We're already doing some dishes in here. And we got the hot water and the cold water and the drain. And it's looking great. So once we figure out what we're gonna put on this side for either another piece of cabinet or whatever, then we'll just change this countertop either to a small square to fit this sink, a real countertop than this wood one that we made, or we'll make a countertop that goes all the way across and put the refrigerator on that side. But I hope this helped you out to put a new sink. You could build a slop sink in your basement. You don't have to put a nice kitchen sink like this. You can make anything. Put this in your utility room. I have a slop sink in my utility room to wash my boots and stuff so I don't get the rest of the house dirty. But one more for DIY, building stuff for the house fixes. Give us a like and subscribe. It might not be much to you, but it's a whole thing for our channel so that we can get monetized. So thank you for your time. Enjoy.